What's up, my fellow junk slab collectors? This is Ahsoka. Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate all of you joining me today. So I haven't recorded or uploaded any videos in probably 2 or 3 weeks. Had vacation coming up and then after that I was like, I don't really feel like it. Decided to take a break. I've got quite a few cards. Can't really see it very much, but lots of cards here. More cards. So I have 3 cards that were still left at PSA for the quarterly special 2, $7.50 a card. And I paid for one before my vacation. I had another one that was due and I just paid for, so it should get here shortly. And then I had about 3 CGC submissions as well. One's here with me, 2 more are on the way. And I have a 3rd PSA submission from the quarterly special, my very last one, that should hopefully get here or be finished within another week or 2 because it is entered on 9/2, September 2nd, but it, let's see, they're currently on August 27th, so I'm about 5 days away from that one as well, so I should have somewhere around 6 to 8 submissions here soon. So I was kind of taking a break before uploading any videos just because I knew I would have a lot of cards coming in, a lot of sales videos, lots of collection updates and purchases. So I wanted to take a break, so hopefully you guys didn't mind. But let's go ahead and get into the submission. So all of this, the great part about all of this submission is that all of this is the majority of it is the non-holos from the sets that I graded previously. So those jungle sets, the holos, Neo Genesis First Edition along with the Gym Challenge. All of these are the non-holos that were a part of those sets. So at this point, this is free other than the $900 it costs to grade, which I did sell a few 8s and 9s before recording, and that already made me $600-700, and that is basically, you know, I'm already close to breaking even on that, even though these cards are basically free at this point. This is a big card. So far, these aren't really selling very much. I did get them up online and post a few to Instagram, but not really selling too much. The cool thing about this Neo Revelation was I recall buying it for about $250. So I bought a complete non-holo set of both Unlimited and First Edition, along with, had to be probably 10 or less holos. So, I mean, that's fantastic now. The holos graded between 7 to 9, no 10s. And the non-holos, as you see here, got a lot of 10s. And the guy had them online, and I was really suspicious because they were saying BGS 9.5. You had all the Shinings, the Dogs, I mean, just a lot of the cards. I mean, even Blissey was up there in like 9.5 for BGS. And I was like, why are you selling this if it's a mint set? And I guess the guy just figured those were the bigger cards. They were worth it more. Obviously now, you know, I mean, this Suicune alone is 150, 250. And I'm keeping this card, actually. This is the one card that is not really part of my collection goals, but I just like it. And I'm going to keep it as a reminder of this submission. But yeah, I mean, that covers more than the cost. And so it's always weird when you see some people selling certain cards. So you have to be really scrupulous when you're looking at these collections to buy. You're like, why did you not grade the whole thing yourself? You know, and sometimes that's just the case. But I got really lucky because, I mean, a lot of these cards are 50 to $100 a piece, even in PSA 9. You know, here we go. Another one, Raichu, PSA 10. Or, yeah, Raikou. Thought I was saying Raichu for a second, or Raikou for a second. Yeah, so this is just fantastic. I mean, those holos, I mean, those few already paid for the set. This one right here, another big card. I think this was the lowest. No, I actually got a few PSA 5s in this submission. I think 5 was the lowest I got. But overall, I got, let's see. There's a Starmie missing as well, and that Starmie sold for $150. So that right there almost covers the cost of my my Neo Revelation sets. This was a card that I had in my box. I was below the bed. That basically was the cards that I did not sell when I sold everything off to PWCC, which I know that's a contradiction, saying these are what's left after I sold everything, even though I didn't sell everything. So I had that. I had a lot of Tyranitar cards, some graded, some not graded, that were just sitting in there. This pile right here is Fossil. I picked up a set for $750. I graded all of the holos, and I got lots of 9s, a few 8s, and I believe, I mean, those have already sold, and I've got more than my money back. But this is actually worth more than the holos at this point. So I'll show you why. So we got Aerodactyl and a 10. I'm going to just set the 10 pile over there. And flip that over. Got Articuno. Ditto. I mean, this is ridiculous. I did not expect to get this high of a PSA 10 percentage. I would have liked to have done this blind, but my fear is always like, you know what, if I don't look at the grains before I do it, I'm going to be disappointed. I don't know if I'd want to make a video where I'm just all disappointed. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is just ridiculous. And it was worth it. So the question is going to be, you know, obviously I'm doing pretty well with these and there's still a lot more to see. But should I sell these off with, you know, on my own eBay store? I'm already the lowest price there. I am taking offers on it somewhere up to 70-80% as the automatic cutoff. But should I basically lower the prices little by little until they're sold, and I'm selling off some of the duplicates via auction every 2 weeks until I'm out to the last copy? You know, that's the question, because I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. Because if I did this, you know, and I'll give it away now, I got 67% PSA 10 out of 117 cards. So if I did that well with these, what's to say somebody else could not do the same? Now, I know a lot of the amateurs did not get that, you know, with... Let's try to make this a little more accurate over here with the PSA 9s. Let's add some 10s over here. Oh, shit. Going back through this. Yeah, so, you know, that's the concern. I know watching old school Pokemon, watching Charlie Herlocker from, you know, basically he was part of Ludkins for a while. I guess now he's not. But just thinking about what is the best strategy with getting rid of a lot of these cards, just because there's going to be a lot of folks that bought a lot of these sets. I know I sold a lot of them. I know a lot of people were sitting on them and buying up these non-holo sets. So what is the best strategy here with, you know, all these cards? So I'm still deciding what to do. You know, I have some time just because on the market, some of these cards don't even have a single PSA 10 copy apart from the one that I put on there. So let's back this up a little more. Hypno. Big boy right here. Dark Charizard. I had a PSA 9 that sold for $225. And I sold a few copies that were mint. So then again, you know, I was only picking up gem mint copies. It's still a bad habit of mine where I only grade cards that would get PSA 10. So I'm trying to fix that, just because I know a lot of cards back when I sent these off would have been worth it to send off 8s and 9s. I mean, like I said, some of these sets were already free, and I sold a few 9s and 8s that were listed at 30 to 50 bucks a piece, and people were just snatching them up. And at $7.50 a card, it is definitely worth it. You know, there's another unlimited 10, an 8. So just a lot of opportunities there that I missed out on. This 10 pile is going to get huge. And another Jungle PSA 10 for unlimited. All right, let's get into this pile right here, which is nothing but first edition Jungle non-holo rares. All right, so starting from the beginning, Clefable, 9, got a 10. I'll set that over here in the jungle pile. So from here over are 10s. Electrode. That's just ridiculous. Let's see, Flareon. All right, you ready for this one? Here's Flareon. You only got 1, not just 2, 3, and even 4 PSA 10s. I mean, just look at that. That's ridiculous. So I got a lot of those. I have one on auction right now. I'm selling, if I have 3 or more copies, I'm selling 1 PSA 10 on eBay currently, just auction it off. I sent off 6 Jolteons, and out of 6, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 4 PSA 10s. So this was part of, I believe most of these were from the guy that I bought 6 jungle sets from. So luckily I did have one complete set, and I sold a few sets that didn't get graded. But overall, I mean, it was, let's see here. So number 4 seems to be really popular this round. And I got 4 jungle Mr. Mime first edition non-holo rares in PSA 10. All right. I mean, hopefully these sell. I mean, compared to what I paid, obviously it's going to be a profit, but I would like to try to do a better job of selling these, which I could probably not show the video. That way it appears like I have less copies than what I do have. But, you know, I like being transparent. I like showing some of the stuff off. Plus, it's kind of fun. I always love doing PSA return videos. I always get excited watching and seeing what grades people get on what cards. And I'm somewhat aware of the lower population on a lot of cards. So it's always nice to see somebody get something that's super rare or hard to grade. So Pidgeot. Oops. Some of these cards are definitely a lot more valuable in PSA or in non-holo versus holo in PSA 10. So definitely a big difference between the two. I imagine some of the less popular cards did not get graded as much compared to the holographic versions. So those obviously have their issues, you know, like Snorlax, Vaporeon, Clefairy, or no, Clefable, and Wigglytuff. Those have the lighter backgrounds. So those ones are definitely harder to grade, but the non-holos don't seem to have that issue with it. So number 4 again, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 PSA 10s on Pinsir. So awesome card. Some cards I wish I would have had a few more copies of, like this Scyther. I sent in 1 and I got a PSA 10. So that definitely helps. And then here are the big ones. Besides Charizard from this submission, there were some, these were the bigger cards right here. So Snorlax, this card is somewhere between, I think a Heritage or Golden Auctions one sold for $6,000, but on average I think these sell for $8,000 to $10,000 in the foil version. So I got 110, a 9, another 9, and sandwiched between those 9s, you got a 10 over here. So 2 PSA 10 Snorlax. These cards are about $380 to about $500 depending on you know, whether it's auction, buy it now, direct sales. So still pretty good price. I mean, again, that's free at this point. Speaking of the light backgrounds, here we go with Vaporeon. The 2 that I sent in both got PSA 10. So very happy about that. I got plenty of the starter trios, and hopefully I'll have some of the EVs as well. Those are in my common and uncommon submission that kind of arrived in the same box, but they got entered 1 day later. So technically I should have had them already, but they're still in the grading phase. But the complete through date is slowly, little by little, catching up. All right, let's go through the rest of the jungle. So Victory Bell, I got 1, 2 copies. Vileplume, 1, 2 10s, 3 10s, 1 Venomoth only, and 1 Wigglytuff. So at least one of every non-holo rare in a PSA 10, so I was able to complete a PSA 10 non-holo rare set. Pretty happy about that. That was something that I think would be easy to sell to somebody. I mean, hopefully we'll see. Seems like a lot of folks are looking to pick them up on auction prices. I know Snorlax, some people are trying to buy the Snorlax from me based on like cherry picking the lowest auction sale of it, and then from there trying to subtract the fees and the taxes. I'm like, the taxes aren't even included in the eBay sold listing. So you definitely get a lot of people trying to do that, and I do the same, so I don't really knock it. But you know, it's I'm not gonna cherry pick the prices for people to pick the lowest and have everything at their advantage and nothing at my advantage, nothing in my field. So little by little, hopefully these will sell and I can recoup a good amount of cost towards my next purchase. So here we have nothing but these are base set 2 rare cards. So Dragonair, really awesome card. I think I had some offers about $180, $200 on eBay. There's only about 16 copies of this, I believe, and there's none on eBay, so I have no sold listings, and I figure, you know what, if somebody wants to complete a set, this is going to be a card that they're going to have to pay up for, and I have it listed for $250 or best offer. A lot of these as well, I don't think people are willing to risk sending these in. Electabuzz. Kangaskhan. Man, I couldn't imagine what base set 2 would have been like had they had all these jungle and other cards in holo. Imagine having 30 holos like some of the E-Series sets, but for base set 2. That would have been something I would have really liked to have seen. Pidgeotto. More Pincers. Venomoth. And Victory Bell. Both PSA 10. I have no idea where I picked these cards up. I just remember that they were really fantastic looking and I sent them in. Here we have a Lass. I imagine somebody's going to want to put together the first PSA 10 base set 2 set. There's probably already one set already put together. Electrode. I was really hoping to get some of these trainers. The Evolution Spray. I don't think a lot of people sent those in. Or probably even took care of them either. Imagine back then when you were a kid, you get a trainer card. You're probably disappointed. I mean, nobody back then was excited about getting a trainer card. Item Finder. Imposter Professor Oak. Computer Search. And Pokemon Breeder from Legendary Collection. So kind of a strange one at the end. Except for, wait for it, I forgot about 3 cards that I actually graded. And I tucked aside because they were not part of this sort of Wizards of the Coast. So I opened up some Unseen Forces Master Deck collections, and I got this Typhlosion, which is interesting when you look at the title, Golden Sky. So it's got that from the theme deck, but when we go to the Meganium, it just calls it a promo. So kind of interesting. I opened up a Meganium and a Feraligatr Master themed, or the Master Deck collection, and both got PSA 10. And the very last card I submitted was this Chansey. There's a QW Chansey on the forums and on Instagram. Has a great collection, and I figured this was something that he probably wouldn't grade, and it looked flawless. Sent it in, so I'll finally get off my lazy butt and send it to you if you're watching. Hopefully I'll end up seeing it in an Instagram video, but other than that, that was just my submission. These 2 Unseen Forces are going in my collection, along with that Suicune, and that's my collection. So if we look here, this is PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA 9, and then some 8s down there. So overall, this was a fantastic submission. I'm really happy for it. Again, all these cards are essentially free at this point, apart from the grading fees. And I got a Modern collection coming back. So that one has an even higher PSA 10 percentage than this one, and it only had 1 more card. So this was 67% PSA 10. The other one, when I get to the video, I'll talk about the PSA 10 percentage and kind of having to do with Modern and what I kind of suspect is going to happen, and a few other tips and tricks on there as well. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Let me know if this is something that you enjoyed. One of these days I'll actually do a submission where it'll be blind. I won't know the grades at all. But until then, have a good one. Peace out. See you on the next one.